Hey there everyone, this is Joe from Bullion Now, bullionnow.com.au, selling you the best bullion bars and coins shipped to you worldwide from Melbourne in Australia. This is your weekly precious metals technical analysis where we take a look at the big four: gold, silver, platinum and palladium. Of course, head over to Bullion Now YouTube channel, that is youtube.com/bullion now. Have you noticed? Look at this, 1.04. So we hit over the 1,000 mark just a couple of days ago, and even in just a couple of days we've had added almost 50 new subscribers since then, so we're kicking goals. So if you want to join the winning team, because it's very obvious that we're winning all over, so much winning, you won't believe all the winning, you'll just get sick of all the winning. Hit the big subscribe button right there, join the family and get that big dopamine hit of warm and fuzzy feelings. Okay, gold, this is really, I say this every week and sometimes it doesn't happen, but I think this will be very quick indeed. Pretty much the same as last week. So really, I'll just give you, I guess, the quick weather report. This is gold on the monthly time frame. We are looking at, obviously in US dollars, $14.92 roughly. The price hasn't moved a whole bunch. Let's go back 7 days or 6 days. I think I did it on Friday last week. Today is Thursday, the 24th of October, 2019 in Australian Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, I should say. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we're around about here, roughly. So look, we're still traveling basically within this symmetrical triangle pattern right here. We have yet to break through. Had a little bit of a dip, but yet to break through. I'm still going to stay unbiased for both gold and silver. Unbiased for both gold and silver, with the caveat, with the warning sign, as I said last week, just beware of the dead cat bounce with this particular setup right here. Come up, have the peak, come back down, have another rise. Everyone thinks, oh, that's it, we're heading higher, and then it goes significantly lower. Just keep that in mind though. Not saying it's going there, but it's still in place. So that's why I'm staying unbiased for now. And I mentioned the very lowest point I could see going down to would be here at about 1375 roughly. I do think on the monthly time frame we will need to visit the 18 average of highs at some point, and it generally tends to happen after you rise above it for a brief amount of time, and you rise above it, significantly. It does tend to come and visit back at some point, and it actually dips below. But unbiased for the moment. I'll stay unbiased, but just watch out for that dead cat bounce. As I said, really quick this week, let's take a look at silver. I'm not going to do gold in Australian dollars this week, so sorry to all you Aussies, but it's really not particularly relevant right now. This is silver in the monthly time frame. Again, exactly same thing as gold. Just be careful of the dead cat bounce. That a few weeks, a couple of months, I should say, of that large rise from a low. So look at that rise there. The red candle down, the red candle down, the green candle up, the green candle up. And is it a fake out and then it heads back down? Potentially, and there is room to move down. But I am staying unbiased for silver as well. But just bear in mind, two key levels, as I've said before, 1620, and the lowest I think it could go would be approximately your 1550 mark. Somewhere in here is the lowest I think it would go if we head down further. But let's take a look at the daily and see how it's shaping up on that. We actually have broken out of this triangle pattern right here, but we haven't broken up in a significant way. We're actually really just been skirting around. You can see it here. This trend line, this long-term trend line right here, you know the one, but let me just take you back on the monthly. This one right here through that old low and that old low, and it goes right smack bang through there. And you'll see we're just kind of skirting around it. So look, a decision is going to come really, really soon, whether we right down there or we just continue on our merry way. And if we head down, I've just told you those down points. And again, if we head up, if you're watching this for the very first time, you haven't seen these in the last few weeks, heading up, my targets of obviously 21 right there. And then the next sort of big one right here is at your sort of 25, 26 dollar level right there, which is a major line in the sand, which got broken through back in April of 2013. That was all the way down. So that is silver on the US dollar time frame. Again, won't look at the Australian dollar. Let's take a look at platinum. What did I say last week? And doesn't mean it's confirmed at all, but I did say last week that I did think that the bottom was in. And I thought after we had this peak up to $1,000, we came back down, basically testing right here, this trend line right there. We came back to test it, and we have since been heading back up, currently looking nice, about $922 roughly in US dollar terms. I have said last week, and I'm going to keep saying it until I'm proven wrong, I think that is the low. I personally think that is the low now for a good long while in terms of platinum. I don't think we'll see a significant drop below here and continue down further. I think that might be the line in the sand right there at approximately your $870 US mark. I think we may come back to visit it, but I think over time we're going to be heading higher and higher in platinum. That is just my personal feeling. So do not take anything I say as financial advice. The next moves up, as I've mentioned before, you've got this one right here at 1150, but I think the most logical one would be this next one here at approximately 1100 would be the next major mark before we see a large retracement. And of course, you've got this one right here at about 1200 roughly. And again, hitting this downtrend line just depends when it hits, of course. If it hits here, then it's up there. If it hits it here, then it's down there. Makes sense? Good. That is platinum. And finally, Palladium. Man, this thing is doing really well. Let's take a look on the daily time frame. Here we are. As you can see, we had a nice, healthy retracement from the high of 1780 roughly down to, well, what do you know, just down to roughly the 18 average of highs, just peaking a little bit below it, and that's a low of about 1740, give or take. And it now looks we may potentially, I'm not saying we are, but potentially we're heading up from, well, actually, no, last week I was saying, and I've been saying the last few weeks, we are, without a doubt in my mind, heading up in the longer term to the we're at the $2,000 mark right here. This is on the monthly time frame. Look at that monthly candle. Look at that. Look at it. We've had that. That was a potential double top. As I said, over the last month or so, or even longer, we had that potential double top. It was a failed double top. And because it was a failed double top, we're going to have a fast move in the opposite direction. We have been seeing that. And that is definitely coming to that. See that blue line right there? That's the psychological value of 2000. It's a psychological value because it's never been hit before, and you're likely to stop at a psychological value if you've never hit that level before. That's my opinion on it. Of course, not financial advice. If I had $1 for every time I said not financial advice, I'd be a very happy man. But 2000 right there would be the next level before we see any kind of significant retracement on the monthly time frame. That is, but I could very easily see it push through there, maybe a little dip, and push all the way up to the next Fibonacci level, which is the 2.618, calculated from this high of 1090 and this low of about 145, and that is at $2,608. Let's just call it $2,600 roughly. I could see it moving all the way up to $2,600 before a big couple of red candles. So it's definitely on the move to 2,000. Possibly, I'll say possibly, on the move to 2600. I'm not giving you the low targets. I don't think it's even worth it at this point. And lastly, just quickly, the gold to silver ratio, as we always like to have a quick look at. As you see me scrolling through all my other tickers there, that's gold, sorry, traveling at about 85. I do still think we might see a 1:100 ratio before we head back down, just because we've done it 2 times in history before, recorded history that is. And if gold has a massive rise, we could see that before silver follows along. We could see that briefly. Could even be like a real quick candle wick spike up to there, but I think we might see it beforehand. Again, that's just kind of my own weird kind of feeling, not based on any major technicals. And of course, as I said before, hit the big red subscribe button, because doesn't it feel like a family? I know it does, doesn't it? You're with me and I'm with you, and we're all together in this big, precious metals, economic collapse thing. You know the whole deal. You've probably got you're probably like a closet prepper, just like me. So join the family, because you know why? Because we do these weekly auctions and the epic unboxings, and of course the videos like this one that you're watching today. And a lot of educational stuff as well. Michael does his mini rants, Michael's mini rants. So he hasn't done one for a while, but he's about due for another one. He's got a lot to say about a whole bunch of stuff that's happened recently. So make sure you do subscribe for that sort of educational stuff as well. We do the odd interview with silver stackers as well. If you want to be interviewed by us, and you'll get a free ounce of silver. It doesn't have to be on screen. You can do it via Skype, and it can be anonymous, via telephone or via Skype. Not a problem. But we just want to hear from other stackers just like you. What kind of stuff do you stack? Why did you get into it? What's your favorite kind of metal? What's your feeling on the economic situation? All that sort of stuff. We want to hear from you. So send us an email to sales@bullionnow.com.au, and of course join us at bullionnow.com.au to buy all the best bullion bars and coins shipped to you worldwide from Melbourne, Australia. Wow, what an excellent end to this very short video. All right, that's it, gang. Stay safe, take care, and we'll speak to you soon.